Good morning. Today we turn for our devotional to Psalm 65, verse 4. Blessed is the one you choose and bring near to dwell in your courts. We shall be satisfied with the goodness of your house, holiness of your temple. These words David speaks towards the beginning here of the 65th Psalm, where he is lifting up praise and worship to God who hears, who saves, who atones for his people. He starts out saying, Praise is due to you, O God, in Zion. But why should God be praised? Well, he expresses particularly that God is the God who hears prayer. God is the God who forgives sin. And then, of course, here in verse 4, God is the God who dwells with his people, who draws a people to himself. And of course, we could look at these things and say, well, yeah, God hears prayer. I mean, if you're a Christian, you're not used to thinking any differently. But compare that with, of course, all of the false gods that people have believed in throughout history and the the religious and spiritual beliefs that some of your neighbors may hold. How tragic to worship, to look to gods or spirits or forces or whatever the case may be, who can't hear prayers, who can't forgive sins, who can't bring that peace blessing that God alone can bring. And so this passage, and then when we look at verse 4 especially, invites us to reflect on the grace, the mercy, the compassion of God who responds. God is so great, and we are so small. And on top of that, so sinful. And God, in His unmerited mercy, looks to us and cares for us. And so, under the weight of guilt and sin, we can look to God to lift us up. In the grip of grief, we can look to God for peace and hope. If we set our heart on the presence of God, which we receive by faith in Jesus Christ, by the gift of the Holy Spirit, the presence of God is where true and lasting, abiding and unfailing joy and peace may be found. And that is the gift that God promises to all who turn to Christ in faith. So, whatever you go through today, I hope that as you pass through difficulties and trials and sufferings of many kinds, that you will nonetheless be able to look to the promise of the presence of God and find comfort in the God who hears prayer, the God who cares for those who call to Him. May the Lord bless you today and every day in every way.